I didn't finish changing the name, did I? Oh no, I did. I did. So it should be saying ZeroG Challenge 14. Okay, challenge was due back in April 10th, so I'm a little late on doing my video and stuff. I blame the challenge. I, I actually kind of have been blaming the challenge over the past month. It the prior to that, the previous month I had participated in. Well, I've been participating in the ZeroG challenges. I don't I don't think I've yet missed during this. I thought I was going to miss here the one that was due May 10th, but I ended up submitting to something to that work in progress that I had. But I had participated in the Anvil challenge the month before, which was about modular CVs, and then here the challenge 14 for ZeroG was vanilla Reforge allowed. Please label your submission what it is. Da, da, da. Build a specialized CV that is designed to dock to most CV, either in the hangar or on the exterior. For example, you could make it look like a cargo pod or something. Do not make a CV that is complete. CV can do everything. It needs to have a special role. For example, a dropship, factory unit, miner, or salvage, etc. The one exception to this is if it's a starter CV that also has a purpose to you in endgame, such as dropship or miner or something, then obviously it will basically have everything in it. I totally understand that. Do not make a module designed for a ship like the Helios. So it was restricted. We weren't restricted from making modules, but don't make it for a ship like the Helios. Tons have been made and are being made. A module for that ship does not fit this challenge. Remember, it needs to dock to most CV in some way. No bigger than size class 1.5. I wonder if I kept to that. I'll have to check mine when I get to it. Thrusters must not be hidden. Volume of weight and CPU compliant. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start here with the Reforged. Mine was actually a vanilla build. And part of what it is the 1.2 and stuff, they actually hit a sweet spot for me. This modular stuff, it wasn't something I was any sort of master with, but I participated in a discussion on um, uh, the official Imperium forums a while back, talking about modular, doing SVs, HVs, that sort of stuff, um, uh, modular containers, and so it's something that getting the 1-2 between the two challenges. This past month I've been very distracted. What little time I've had to play Imperion, I've been working more with my modular stuff because it just kind of got me really excited about that. Okay. I think I've, okay, so the first two I'm going to look at here, these are by Jupiter Vessel Corp. I believe I'm getting that right. Let's see. So, click here. Da, da, da. Oh, okay, here we go. Jupiter Vessel Corp. And let's see, they have the DS11 factory module. And we'll throw the link in there for that. Okay. And they also stuff the cargo pod. I wasn't sure if they were just really submitting one or both of these to the challenge, or they were just submitting both to try to give ideas, or what it was, or maybe just simply submitting both to the challenge. Um, I don't think it actually said there was a limit of one, although that's kind of often implied. So I let's see. So we have I threw both the names, the links. Let's see. I'll go back here. Let's look at the cargo module. Now, I think I think the cargo module is definitely familiar. The cargo pod, I believe I may have, or maybe one of the they actually have. If you go to their go there to their page, I want to say they actually have an additional module. Um, Hold on. you're going to just see nothing while I go to their page and verify that I'm getting that right. Let's see, Jupiter Vessels Corp. Da, da, da. The factory module, the cargo module. I'm only seeing the two. Maybe I might be confusing it with someone else's stuff, or maybe I did see both of these modules before, actually. I'm getting myself confused and lost. Oh well, not exactly terribly new on that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen these before because my first CV for transporting modules is a general purpose carrier of modules. Not necessarily a general purpose carrier, but um, a transport module transport. And granted, it's too small for the Helios modules, but these fit on the deck just fine. So what you'll see when he talked about docking to pretty much universally to CVs, you have the docking pads underneath here. The stuff that will allow it to land and dock to the surface, the top side of any CV, or if it fits into a hangar, get into the hangar. For docking to his own module transport CV, as I said, I've seen this before. It's actually these pads here, stuff that you would actually dock to essentially to the back of the CV, and so these would hang off the back of the CV, and um, I'm liking. Well, I might have seen this before, but I'm not sure I really were the flashing lights here before, and I just didn't pay attention to it. I was just looking around, looking at the time, seeing what modules are small enough and actually fit on my CV, because as I said, that's the what my CV is designed for transport modules in general. So yeah, and this is how the pads underneath is how I docked it to my CV on the pad. But maybe I was just too I was so focused on whether the module fit that I didn't pay attention to the lights. Well, I believe those actually would be not lights. I think they're flares. Although this is in Reforge, I'm not sure. Let's click. Yeah, it's flare. Okay. Okay. And so I'm going to point out some of the stuff I'm liking here. So I am liking this here. We've done top and bottom. Again, it gives kind of, I guess, accentuates the ribbing they've done here. I think it looks nice. I've also been admiring here the, not like it's something super special, but I think it works nicely with this module. The lighting on these little bars, which I think ends up looking a lot cleaner than having the full ramp across, just to have the two walls ramp sides there. I know it's all one single shape there that treats as two stuff. And it divides that out there. I like how they've done this texture through here. I'm not sure I've ever used this texture. I'm not sure, but it actually works nice there on the thin wall reveal there. So I might have to try to keep that in mind myself. And then oh, that's interesting. Uh, oh, I see. I'm catching on. I see. It's this shape I'm very familiar with. So I've used that many times. Then you have this here, and then it kind of makes that appear all to be one with it. I see, I see. I think I've done something similar, but I just haven't delineated this with that texture there. Interesting use of that texture. So, yeah, okay. I think I'm catching on there. Okay. I think I'm liking their use of that shape there. I've used it other ways, but there here it looks like almost like some sort of rail system or something. Okay, okay, we have idle mode on a switch here. I'm pretty sure what we're dealing here is a probably fairly compact design. It's not uncommon for a small CV like this. And this, I believe, they said this is their factory module. So we have looks like it's just a single advanced constructor, and we have a deconstructor over here, break down parts of stuff we find. We have a almost a full 200,000 uh, cargo container. I wonder if that looks like they've got oh, and a 2800 or not, yeah, not 2800, 280,000 cargo container. So two containers there. I'm going to guess. Well, oh no, you haven't assigned which one is their input, which one's their output, or anything like that, or if they're are just using one for deconstruction. Or okay, I guess. Oh, and the other controller's right on the other side of me. Okay, I see. Okay, we've got an armor locker. So if you spawn this in, build your first armor, and then get suited up, then you should just need to bring in your CV to haul it around. Uh, Compact design, as he said, these are not supposed to be all encompassing unless they're a starter CV. So we don't have our warp. We don't. This is just a factory module. Okay. Let's look over here. Same thing as the docking to his CV on the front. I'm noticing here that kind of like so the docking system is the same. It looks like the spacing of the docking pads is the same. This just happens to be a wider CV uh, than this one here. But the docking landing pads, landing gear used for docking to his CV are in the same relative position. Um, we're repeating this here, but instead of using a solid wall block, we are using the two rails. So it gives it a different look, yet also tying it in into the other one. We have a looks like quite a bit of down thrust here, but they're all small thrusters, probably I'm guessing to conserve space to work for our cargo on such a compact design. Uh, so depending how the interior of this thing works out. Oh, that's nice. Um, Bringing this out here, tying it into this here out around this small pad. Now, something like this is makes almost wish that we had nested docking, because this looks like a pad where you just take your small CV or small SV, dock it on here, but we don't get nested docking. So if something was docked there, it wouldn't be able to dock to another capital vessel. But if we had nested docking, this would look like just park something small there. So if it just looks like a small little pad, um, the stuff you could associated with it. Uh, oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever used that shape, but used here it makes it look like it's part of the support and structure of this rail of this pad back here. Ah, interesting. Okay, let's go take a look inside. Oh, the other one we had a little more space to walk around. This is a smaller module. Um, oh, have a harvest controller. I don't suppose. I need a harvest controller. Interesting. Let's go to the cargo pod. Harvest controller. It's one full container system. So the factory module has more cargo, but that's not since with a factory you're making things. It's not uncommon. This is one single container system, full cargo system. It almost makes me think that you could just basically have just a whole bunch of these set out. That's the thought that hits my head at the moment, just thinking that it's a full cargo system. They just, okay, I need another full cargo system. Boom, I've spawned another one of these in, set it down next to my base, or uh, near some defense towers or something. Or, well, I guess since base attacks are pretty much restricted to bases for the most part, unless they've changed that. So if you are just to have a bunch of CVs, the only things maybe a wandering patrol vessel might be a danger to you, wandering patrols, but don't necessarily get the base attack. So I guess in that case you could just park it somewhere if you, as long as and use it as just a storage pod. But then you might need a way to transport several of these if you've collected more than one. Okay. And also might be one of the things to pull up the dodo that it docks to and see what its capabilities are. The stuff, it could be just this is just to give it a little storage expansion. But yeah, I like the little pad there. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, it'd be interesting if you could walk down through there, but that wouldn't. I don't think that would work out quite right. I don't think you have the clearance because that's just a half block there and stuff. Um, and yeah, this would have to go out further and stuff. It just, I think it looks great the way it is. It just gives it a, I don't know, kind of like a little wing sort of look without being a wing. It just kind of gives it a nice shape. Okay. Now, as I said, I've actually seen these two. I want to say I've seen both of those before. Um, this stuff. So, and I know I probably am a little rushed as I go through this. I have, um, it's almost like I'm trying to sneak this in because one, I'm over a month late, so the next challenge is actually already finished, and I haven't looked at those ones yet. Um, it did say that this kind of hit a sweet spot for me, and I ended up working on my stuff a little bit more. So, uh, but yeah, the definitely specialized CV. There's uh, no turrets, no warp, compact, everything in a small space. Okay, let's go with it. Let's see. I think the next one is the Tortoise by ProcyonLotor. Let's see. Hold on. Sometimes I'm wishing I had a third monitor. I could have this like pulled up on this, distributed among three monitors, so I can figure out what in the world I'm. But here I'm tabbing through my and getting myself lost, tabbing through my windows on on my second monitor. Okay, oh no, I already got the ProcyonLotor. Wait, hold on. So ProcyonLotor. I got the link. I didn't put down the name of it. The Tortoise. I get myself all mixed up here. Okay, so it's the Tortoise. Link. Okay, little out order there. What I'd like to do. Okay, so let's. Oh, and I apparently have. How about we stop the speed of time so we can have a daylight look at this thing. This looks like a micro miner. I think the only smaller micro miner I've seen for CVs was an open design. You know, there's basically a seat, you know, an open cockpit just sitting on top of. I mean, it didn't. It. I think the smallest micro miner I've seen is it just basically a laser, open cockpit, cargo system, and thrusters. There wasn't any real. I don't think it was any really good shape to it. Oh, bear with me. Okay, so we have our generator on the outside, but it is a micro stuff. I got a couple, looks like a couple small fuel tanks stuff. And oh, we got our wireless. You know, with being such a micro design, everything's pretty much on the outside. Looks like the one thing they're kind of protecting a little bit here is the fuel tanks have a little coverage here. This I'm not sure. Is there something else being covered underneath that? I know this here, it might, but it also might be giving that, once you throw a little coverage on those things, you give this to give a more complete look to it. Stuff but a minimalist cockpit here, very minimalist. We are using our door on top, ventilator behind, and pretty much just enough space to have the seat there. I think the only way this would be even smaller is if you had these windows forming just a cube, but by slanting them out, um, it gives it a little more pleasing shape, and then you just have to fill in for the airtightness and for the looks these corner triangles. But realistically, these if you're going for a minimalist cockpit, these two on the side and that one on the front, those are the same spaces that if you're just doing a glass wall would take up. It'd still take up that same cube of space for building stuff. In this case, you just slant it out, give it a much more pleasing shape and look. Stuff. Good thing, even though they don't have much hit points, at least the spotlights are airtight, so make your airtight seal, and you have your very minimalist cockpit that looks nice. Okay. Micro CV, basically a micro mining CV. Um, I now they might be protecting something else here, but in this case they have um, the external landing gear like this, which has the advantage that they're not, since everything's compact. I wouldn't be least bit surprised that that is a give me the landing gear stuff. Having landing gear, yeah. I'm like, I totally expect that to be container behind there. So you wouldn't want a retractable landing gear cutting off your container space, stuff. Every little block is stuff. So you want exterior, and then I notice here that then they're actually using these narrow ramps to, at least to me, this is what it visually looks like. Is they're using the narrow ramps then to bring this landing gear in, you kind of pull it into the shape of the ship, even though it's going to stick out on the exterior no matter what. And it actually kind of pulls it in and makes it part of the hull shape. At least visually, that's what it looks like it's happening to me. Okay. That's out of curiosity. Let's see how much. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a harvest container, a Tortoise. Harvest controller, just a single one. 104,000. But on such a micro thing stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure how much a single asteroid it consumes in space, but I'm pretty sure that last time I was mining an asteroid that it would easily fit in that space. Okay, and with the landing gear on the bottom, the stuff and such a small design, I think you can practically slap it anywhere you want. Okay. Okay. I probably should make sure I have plenty of fuel so I don't, as I'm viewing these things, I don't just suddenly find myself running out of fuel. Make some fuel in my pack. I just almost feel like I'm in an SV, except CVs don't mine. SVs can mine planet side. CVs cannot. I'm sorry. I know the other containers, those modules, um, that yeah, as I said, I've been in them before. So, but this is such a micro size here. I think I've not on the workshop, and I don't know the project that currently is abandoned. I don't know if I'll return to it or anything like that. But I want to say that at one point I did have an SV I was working on concept for something else that might have actually been bigger than this. So I guess I can't. Part of me is like, let's play. But let's not get too distracted here, Dan, because I do have things to get done. Because I'm taking today a day off, but there's a reason for that. I'm taking today off. So if I get too distracted, I'm going to get in trouble with my wife. So I have a little time to play with, but not a whole lot. Okay, let's look at this next one here. This is the by stand 2112 or 2112 or 2112, however you want to say that. Okay, stand 2112, and this is the SSW Piddock micro miner salvager, reforged-only. So this is definitely a reforged build. And let's get that link. Okay. Okay, let's see. Got that. And this will mark us viewing all the. Once I finish this, all the reforged. And then, okay. Now, since I spawned these all in from the same side back there, I'm blue, and that means this is the front, and that over there is the back. But yet, I'm guessing probably going to the thing will find a cockpit facing the other way to do some mining that way. That's interesting. I wonder what's with that. That sort of X sort of stuff makes me think of someone adding, kind of marking where add a weapon here or add a mining laser or something here, but there's landing gear right in front of it. I'm not sure. Is it the same thing? X back there? I wonder if there's some other reasoning, something else that eludes me right now. Because we don't we don't all think exactly the same. We don't all. I don't. Maybe there's some RP element they think goes with that. I don't. I'm curious, but I don't know. That's the landing gear you're gonna need to dock to something. And the thing is, even though the landing gear come out pretty much just flush with the hull here, you actually will still dock with something. I've used it several times myself. So, in fact, if you were to look at these modules here and the stuff, these, even though these are half blocks, they'll still be treated as full blocks when you're trying to dock to some other vessel. Now it goes the other way around. If it's the vessel you're docking to and they're half blocks, you can actually glide already all the way up stuff. But the vessel you're flying, it treats them as if they're full blocks. It's just kind of a little confusing, but that's the way it seems to work. The vessel you're docking with, it goes to the shape of the block. The vessel you're flying, it's the full block space, uh, the full cube of whatever that block is and stuff. Now there are some devices and whatnot that flares, I believe, and there's a few others that when you're trying the vessel you're flying, it will treat them according to their shape instead of the full block. But your basic block hull blocks, and there's a few other things. So even though this is only half block, it will still be treated as full block. So that extends out, and you basically your dock it comes out flush with the space. It's treating it as if, and that's how you dock on that. Whereas this one, in contrast, everything here is just pretty much, well, except for the flare, everything here. And as I said, the flare is one of those things that actually is not treated as a full block. Everything here is pretty much flush, and so the landing gear will be sticking completely out. And this will be very similar. Those, even though they're just thin little wall ramps, essentially, they will be treated when you're maneuvering. They'll be treated as full blocks for collision purposes. So that is actually, in that sense, just virtually flush with the hull. This literally is flush with the hull, not just some sort of virtual, because the way the game treats the walls and thin blocks. Okay. I almost feel like this, you'd pull up to something and, having this door here with this little flat. Well, one, it has the advantage because these armored doors, you may have noticed these doors here, that ridge sticks out a little bit. Granted, it works for this stuff, but for walking out and stuff, I've had some times where that it's kind of annoying the way it sticks out. Uh, stuff. So, um, especially when you're trying to walk, so to have this little extend out a little bit past there, you don't have to deal with that ridge there. But it makes me think like you might have pulled up somewhere. Granted, most worlds, if you have your jetpack, you can probably make this jump just fine. So to jump up onto there and then walk in. Yeah. Whereas both of those are topside um, entrances. This one you can actually, uh, other than with a little jetpack boost there, you can pretty much enter from the ground. So, okay. Oh, yep. And here we have our nice, we have, yeah, a cockpit facing the other way. With multiple lightings around here to give you a good view of whatever you're mining in space. Stuff. Full array of 6 mining laser, it looks like. Reforged allows you more, but that's the limit in vanilla, default limit. Stuff. Okay, we have a shield, so you're a little protected. Yeah, Reforged took the small shield from HVSV and converted into a small shield for CVs as well, which I think is kind of nice. So we have our Pentaxa tank, our detector. So, a shield for your moment to run away from threats. And also protect your whatever you've been mining as you run away. Is that a? Looks like they. Oh, yeah. That looks like they. I wonder if they've done it. Oh, no, they haven't done it on the backside. It's just on the. I was noticing here the quarter rounds creating a nice round effect. Oh, and looks like they didn't. So they carried. So they carried this one here. They get a nice round. You can almost visually imagine it, kind of carrying through or connecting with that in there. And then here on this side, if you follow it underneath this little extension here, these half walls, there you go, stuff, and it continues around there. So kind of interesting there. But it also creates a small gap here with the half wall, so you can actually add some little deco just simply from texturing underneath in there. Then we have use of the half wall or the half wall and wall shapes here on top. I know many people use that to add to the shape of their vessels, and this looks to be no exception. We're actually using a little lighting here, and I know I've seen it before, and I'm sure I'll see it again. Um, but what it does here by having this, among other things, is that when they throw these um, what are they called, shuttered windows on there, uh, the stuff that allows you to see into this here stuff, it then gives uh, those don't just stick out there out of the hull on their own. They kind of gravitate into uh, this bracket, you could say, around it. Okay, so let's go take a look inside. We have a large constructor. It's not an advanced, a large constructor. A small constructor, so we actually have a little more construction going on in this one. We have our O2 station, biochamber, so we can actually, well, healing, but also it gives us a spawn point. Though we're probably going to be, guessing, spawn in a little roasty toasty, but you're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time in there. You'll be like, not like you take a vacation inside your med chamber there. So yeah, and most of your time you're accessing it probably to heal from the outside. You won't be quite so roasty toast against those generators. I want to say that the effect is only about a block. Stuff. Yeah, our deconstructor, harvest controller. Got a view of those from the inside. Okay, we got this one here, which technically is forward, but I think for most of your use of this thing, this will be forward. Hold on a moment. Okay. O2 station. But no armor locker. I'm not seeing one. Okay, so we have a harvest controller here, full 320 system. This is, let's see, what's that? No. Kind of entertaining. It's the micro miner Salvager. I might want to look at see what's got for salvage. If it's got a salvager, if it's already got a stuff. But it has just one controller, one harvest controller, but that works for both mining and salvage. So if it's a salvager, oh, here we go. I probably should have picked out these little giveaways, the retractable turrets there. There we go. That's okay. Yeah, we got our tool turret right there. I wonder if spotlights. Oh, tool turret right there. I see they got the deconstructor on its docking lights. What are they considering the docking lights? Oh, is that just the flares? Is that what the? Maybe that's what it is. Just the flares. Okay. Flashing flares. Okay. Uh, so we got our tool turret fitting right in that bracket. Okay. I, compact design. This almost think makes me think of like a other than the cost in Reforge that you need a special kit. Let's see, Reforged. It's probably gonna advanced system upgrade kit currently you need for the mining laser. So other than that, the rest of it makes me think of the other than also the unlock level you need for the mining lasers. It almost makes me think of a starter CV that you would just get started with. You know, I almost feel like if you just minus those mining lasers, put some sort of airtight seal in there as a placeholder until you could get them. Also makes me think of a kind of a starter CV. All we'd be missing is a armor locker, and we have all our basics for early game. We have our a couple constructors. We have O2 to refill our tanks. Med station for healing and respawn point. Um, the deconstructor to break some of the stuff down into parts we can use to build other things. Just almost makes me think of a starter CV, just other than the high unlock level of the tool turret. But the tool turret doesn't. It's mostly it's the it's these advanced system upgrade kits. I don't know. Maybe it's possible to loot them fairly easily. I don't. I'm not sure. I've been playing Reforge a little bit with my modular stuff, which happen to be built in vanilla but compatible with Reforged. And so I've been playing on the Anvil server late to the current season. So there's a good chance I won't get very far before. Well, granted, I've also been fairly busy, so I'm guessing that I probably won't get very far before the season's over and they start a new season. So I am trying to collect my through trade some advanced system kits. Okay. Okay, so the SSW Piddock micro miner uh, by Stan 2112. Okay. Let's go look at the vanilla stuff, and then I'm gonna have to get on with my day. And then another time I'll come back and I'll get challenge 15 because, as I said, this I'm a bit late on this, and so challenge 15 is already done. Okay. Come on, load the vanilla stuff. Okay. Okay, it looks like we got another micro miner CV. That's what it looks like, I'm pretty sure. Drill module laser, yep. A little different. Visually, the cockpit looks smaller than the other micro miner, but technically, the other one was just a single block space that was the real above the cockpit, and it looks like we got a little access way here. Oh, and a little. Do they? I haven't played around with um, the ladders much. Is there actually a half ladder? let's hold on. Let's go here. Is it this? Okay, here's ladders and half. Okay. Yeah, okay, there is a half ladder. Okay. Oh, that's nifty. So you could grab that half ladder from the ground, I guess, and just get on up into the door. Oh, kind of cool. And you just wind around. So the one was a top load. You go in from the top. This one you can enter from the ground. Two very different micro CVs. Very cool. We're using some deco blocks here. Taking advantage of these deco blocks aren't very tall, and we're using half block shapes. In this case, they're doing a little different to bring in the other one just used a thin wall ramp. In here, we're actually using the half blocks that semi-conceal and pull in the landing gear um, so that they don't extend beyond the hull. Ah. The thrusters aren't hidden. Granted, if you had the thruster block thing turned on, they would be considered blocked, which is kind of frustrating to me and stuff because some of these things are quite beautiful and look very nice like that. I really like the way they're pulling in things and bringing the shape of the vessel around the thrusters. I mean, that right there looks like the real part you wouldn't have to block, but game mechanics, many things treated things as full blocks. Okay, so here we can actually see I'm guessing those are the fuel tanks. We can see them, but having the shutter block on top of it, it is protection, giving a sight into it, but protecting it nonetheless. We have our wireless on the outside, core right back there, but it's a very compact design. Oh, one's a fuel tank, one's an O2 tank. Not like I really know the difference between them. I suppose someone who really knows their artwork in Empyrean will probably pick up, oh, that gives away that it's a fuel tank, and that doesn't have it, so that it's an oxygen tank. Minor detail, other than me seeing it from this side, I wouldn't have picked up on it. Let's see. Oh, I'm thinking this, other than like these parts here where they're using the half blocks for shaping and effect and everything like that. This looks like the bulk of the material of this vessel is essentially just a one block thick, just one block slab, one block thick slab of probably container blocks. To access this turret, you need a control panel. Oh, here I'm thinking like, oh, it's some sort of pad or something like that. No, it's a, that is a turret. Does this mean that this is, I don't, here I'm looking at this thing and I don't think I even put it, the MT824BY Micro CV by sulusdacor. Let me go put this in the chat. I go here and I'm, just looking at this thing and I don't even, just listed as a micro CV, so it doesn't say that it's a. Here I'm going, oh, it's a micro miner, because I'm seeing them, for the mining lasers, but it's just a micro CV. So in this case, what we're looking at looks like it's a micro mining and salvage, and so they just wrapping. I'm guessing you just wrap the container around it. So I'm guessing underneath there is container, and just wrap it around as a bracket around try to maximize your container around the stuff. So this is the controller, and I'm guessing all around there. It's 150,000 harvest container. Yeah. And I noticed that they're doing. I know some of us have occasionally will actually list the when we'll rename the put it in a group, so we're going to assign it a name. So we'll group it and assign it a name, and we'll give it a name that indicates it's we'll include the size. So let's go ahead and it has harvest group. Okay, so and that harvest group gives me both. Okay, access this turret. No, hold on, come on. I'm guessing this is. I don't know. I don't know my turrets well enough to. It's a multi-turret. That's what I thought it was going to be. Because you had the mining lasers here. I'm like, you might as well put. Give yourself the tool turret so you can salvage stuff. Okay. Okay. So quite a different micro miner with salvage. Wrap the container around there. Okay, very nice. Oh, that's. Wait, I think that's. Hold on, I need to grab a paint tool and refresh myself on something here. I think the ones. Hold on, it's this color and paint tool. Texture and color tool. So if we go here, so what we're looking at, that's is there a symbol? I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if it's this symbol on top of the other texture. So I'm pretty sure that that's just a symbol too, just the using the bar. So I wonder if it's that so that because my first one was like, well, that doesn't make sense because I think of this that's a texture and on top of a texture. It doesn't let you do that. You do one texture to the other, but to give this effect of the one texture underneath, they could be using this texture here. I think that's that texture or stuff. I think it is, or maybe it's another texture. I'm not sure. I'm inclined to say it's this one. I'm inclined to say it's that texture. Unless it's the middle bar through this. Could be the middle bar through that. I'd have I'd have to play around to figure out what it's doing, but I don't want to mess with it while I'm looking at it. Well, but the texture, getting that effect on top of that, that's probably the basically a decal on top of the texture, and I like how it's creating just an extra effect going on there. And here they're not. This here gives a interesting rippled effect to that, but here they're using the bar again and just a flat bar. And again, I think they're using the bar on top of a texture. I know that these particular blocks here, some of the textures get a little smashed. So I'm thinking this is probably some other texture getting smashed thin, and so I don't quite recognize it right off the top. Um, but yet it will render this texture just fine. So maybe it is something I am familiar with, just not, I don't know, just a small section of it. I don't think that. Uh, Part of me is tempted to. Well, it's getting night because I forgot to switch which save game and time's traveling. Well, let's do it. Go put it in night. Because just these little dots, it's not overpowering lights, but it's the little dots that makes me. And the thing is, Then you have this on the exterior, which has its built-in lit up textures. There's those little dots on the end of those, just kind of. I know people build things and they can look very, very beautiful where they have lots of glow textures. But in this case, it's just a little bit of what's what natively comes to these particular landing gears, what comes on the mining lasers and the tool turret, and just these little dots that just kind of add a little bit there. You know, the glow that's built into the generator, another externally mounted generator, and then to oppose it on the other side to add visual balance, they just using the half rounds there. Okay, cool. I know there's probably some of the other ones here that I've been looking at that probably might look pretty cool in the dark as well. But sometimes it's not for me, it's not always about you know building a whole bunch of glowing textures. Like this has got a bunch of glowing textures. This is probably going to be uh, you know stand out at night a little bit from this. Uh, but sometimes the minimalists, just throwing a little bit on there, just I think it can look very nice. Um, okay, we got tool turret, mining turret. Well, let's go. This is the worker B, CV worker B by robot. Oops, hold on. I don't want to paste over that. I want to copy that so I can go over here to the Twitch stream, put their name on Robot Shark, get the CV Worker B Vanilla, which is the name I copied off the workshop link. And then let's throw the workshop link on there. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Before I get carried away again and start looking at this stuff. Okay. Now I've noticed that a lot of us on this for this theme for small specialized CVs, um, a lot of us went with mining um, CVs, mining, salvage, that sort of stuff, and it seems to be a running theme. And the next one after this will be no exception to the mining theme. Um, the stuff. But yeah, I'm noticing that quite a bit of us went through. Seems to be a common thing for some of the micro miners. It's kind of like I know some people they'll play the game and they'll have their warship going around, and then they'll have say a mining CV that they just dock onto it. So when they go mine an asteroid or something like that. Oh, we have a repair bay. I wonder if this is a old school CV that they refit. It may say somewhere on their, I don't know if it says on their workshop page or if they said something on it may be in the Discord they mentioned something about the old school. It used to be that you could face the repair bay any way you wanted, and it would actually work as a repair bay. And so I want to say that on the Discord they took a screenshot showing that it still worked, but I want to say that I don't know if they worked this up as a new build for this challenge, or if they revisited one of their old builds that had this built into it and polished it up with new blocks and to the new system. But yeah, so we have the repair bay facing forward, so that you can actually pull this up to something and repair it. Um, so we have a repair console. You can see it stashed back in there from this angle. So yeah, we got a couple Okay, I got a couple minigun turrets for defense. We got a detector on the back there. We got some flashing flares back there. Okay. Where's the entrance to this thing? Oh, that's right. I saw a ramp. And since your landing gear, even though it looks very flush here, so you visually, I'm thinking, oh, this thing's gonna land flat on something. There's no space for a ramp, but technically the landing gear extends out, and so you would have a gap that somewhere is a ramp. Uh, oh, marked by the. In case you were wondering where the ramp was. Oh, and they've also got the outline, just in case the texture was changed. But they have we have our symbols, our lines marking around here. Here's our ramp for entering the CV. Okay. Then we got a O2 station, a small constructor, and our uh, we have an ammo controller because we do have the minigun turrets, and we have ore and wood. 120,000, so we're running about the middle between the some of the other micro miners we've seen. We have our med station for. I said the other one looked like a starter CV, but this one again. Now this is in vanilla, so I don't believe. And since this is technically a part of the, this is not the mining. It's the mining turret. That's also, I believe, between the mining turret and the tool turret stuff. Those are actually a lower unlock level. I think it's 20 instead of 25 in vanilla. So if we go here, capital vessel, laser turrets, artillery turrets. No, we're looking for tool turrets. Unlock level 20 versus 25 for the drill module. So other than the unlock level, this makes me think of a starter CV. But, oh, okay. I was like, please let those not be, since I've seen some of the other ones, kind of protected but exposed to the surface. I was like, oh, please not be exposed to the surface because, I didn't want to think, oh, the airtight seal is broken. Although I can't think of Robot Shark making that sort of mistake easily. Um, okay, but yeah, um, it makes me think of other than the unlock level, starter CV. You know, and I'm sure this probably doesn't help on the unlock level. I wonder if that actually would unlock level 20. So okay, it didn't push it above 20, but yeah, the repair bay tier 2, that's got a decent unlock level itself. But between the fridge, the armor locker, you could put on an armor, a small constructor to process your ores as you stuff, or I was thinking like a starter CV stuff. Again, if it's just these some of these specialized equipment raises your unlock level, and it's like okay, if it wasn't for those things, this would be a starter CV. But for the function of what this is, you kind of need those things. uh, wonder how big that. What's the harvest box? 120,000. The ammo box, 4,000. So that's a pretty big ammo box. You could probably just throw a whole bunch of, granted your salvage and your mining will be dumped right into your harvest box, but you could port some of it over the ammo box because there's plenty of space there. So yeah. Yeah. Yes, I realize the starter CV quite often what you're looking for is warp, but this makes me think of your basic starting off. And again, this you dock this to another CV to get it around from place to place. So warp isn't necessary. That's not these sort of small uh, specialized CV. You know, that's you dock to another CV, and that's how you get them from place to place. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Um, so the Worker Bee by Robot Shark. I know I probably could put it, reduce the lighting, make it night to see that glow. Um, but right now, other than some flares in the back flashing, uh, it's pretty much one of those. It's a glow bar, and it ties in. If you notice here, you have the glow effect, and it goes right through. Well, the turret has its own glows, so it just kind of pulls right through the turret in that sense, in that effect. Um, so it just kind of pulls right through. Okay, now I'm going to pull here over, finish up with mine. So now that you know done all the others, the 1-2 effect between the two challenges got me thinking of doing something different if I could. Okay, I'm gonna put. Okay, it's by DP Burke too. That's me. If I can navigate between my windows here, it's the Spiracle or Spiracle, and then let's go workshop link. It's my own work and lots of stuff. But yeah, here we go. Okay, let's go. Hold on. Let's go back here so I can see if anybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, mine. Yes, I have a fair bit of turrets on this thing for defense. Instead of a shield. This is vanilla, so it's not like I get the micro shield option that the Reforged has worked in. One of my objectives with this actually is designed to my modular system. That's actually why there's this door here and the door down here. This is to dock to my modular system, which will, between the two, it really got me all excited between the two challenges. And so in the process, not only I was not planning to build a mining CV to my module system initially. And those who have seen my perspiration mining CV, this is actually the pattern of the mining lasers. But in this case, I'm giving it a completely different front end, giving and stuff. Same pattern to the mining lasers, but I decided to fill in, to make my airtight cockpit have a different effect. One of the challenges I'm dealing with here is I didn't want to bring this texture that I'm using as my floor. I didn't want to actually bring it to the outside of the CV. Probably could have worked, maybe. I don't know. Could have embraced it and just worked with it. Uh, but oh well, this is the way I chose. I just, in this case, just let it create some lines here, by continue the smooth effect of the hull. But yeah, it's got a bit more, to the minigun turrets and stuff. But one of my objectives was this: I wanted to fit it to my module system without it looking straight up like a box like some of my other modules. Yes, I did change the shape of my boxes a little bit, tried to play with them to have some variety with their shapes and their colors and stuff. But in this case, I'm technically this here, yeah, even though those are half blocks, as I said, when you're flying the object, your CV you're flying, they can be treated for collision purposes like full blocks. So technically, a bunch of this is very much still a a box, but I've tried to use half blocks. I've tried to use some shapes, try to break it up a bit. I'm bringing these doors out here to be consistent with my system to out to the edge, but then using this to bring it back in, so the rest of the CV can, be recessed a little bit. And, some of this stuff here, using these half blocks to try to preserve volume, but change the exterior shape, kind of slim it down in areas so that it isn't all straight up a box. These here, I admit I'm bringing them out. I brought them out a little bit so that when my vessel is going into into my system, there would be a visual. Yes, as I said, the half blocks and landing gear will get you the full block extension for collision purposes when you're docking. But this would give you the visual extending out to that system. I'm thinking that the kind of blockish nature of this middle body, hold on, brings you back into the my module system, that they're very blocky. So, I think I feel like the front end, I kind of captured that, pulling away from my modular, the look of my modular system being very blocky to, make it look more like a actual CV independent, but yet it is not. There is no warp on this thing. This is we go in here. I'm actually giving you a toilet. I want to say that there should be a shower on this thing too. Yeah, here's our shower. The stuff. No, this is not all the cargo on this thing. This is just I've had a little space I wanted to put in there. Something different. Kind of, in other words, using this cargo box gives me essentially like I guess I'm calling it gear. So like you can throw your personal gear in there. Like some of the others, I've put a medic station, a small constructor. Okay, this one I've put on a signal, so it won't automatically open. But here we have our back to our engineering. And generator there. So I'm probably using more hull blocks than some of the other people. Yes, there's still quite a bunch of the container extensions going on, but I'm actually using the hull blocks to divide and contain explosion risks and that sort of stuff. Trying to this detector on the inside. This thing doesn't have a shield, so it's probably going to be okay against a drone for the most part, but I probably wouldn't want to actually tango with a CV stuff. Here's our core. Oh, oh, that's airflow. That's airflow. So that's how I'm getting. Well, it's a shower. It doesn't. You can't even get into there, but I covered my bases anyways. Gives me airflow out back here. I don't know. Maybe that's. I wouldn't be surprised. That might be the. Well, the airflow connects through. Oh, it's airflow into those areas. That's what it is. That's right. That's right. Otherwise, because this shutter door is airtight. So if I wanted airflow actually into here, I needed to use something that wasn't airtight and then have a channel behind it. And I think I'm doing something similar here. Oh, I think that box is not airtight. I think that's what it is. I'd have to look it up again, but I'm pretty sure that. the box is not airtight. I've included some seating so we can have some passengers. So if I'm playing with my kids or something, or a nephew, it's possible to have someone tag along in the vessel. Although an armor locker, granted, my thinking was including some of these basics in there is, yes, I might go out there, but let's say this the thing doesn't have warp, so it's going to have to rely on another CV to get it from system to system. But while I'm out with this CV and doing stuff, I do have ways that I can, say I'm going to go hand mine something. I can go refill my O2 tank, with the O2 station. If I have some other CV that's really only suited for space, maybe this lands planet side, and I go and hand mine some stuff because the space mining, the CV mining equipment doesn't work on planet side. Um, so I included some of those. So to give it some basic functionality. My other thought was if the CV that transporting this gets toasted for some reason, this doesn't have warp, so it's not going to get away that way, but it could potentially serve as a restart module, essentially. I got my, I'm only, no, it's not 32K, it's 320,000K. Looks like I have an LCD to fix. 32K would be a full SV mining or HV container system. This is a CV. That is no. I was like 32K. No, it's 320,000. I mislabeled it. Whoops. Caught my mistake while reviewing it. Well, how much do I have my ammo? Mine is a much smaller ammo than the other one. Only 16,000. But in this case, for this, that would hold a lot still of minigun ammo. And so the only two ammos that this would be using is the 15 millimeter for the miniguns, and your rifle for the sentry turrets. So yeah, this I would still hold plenty of ammo. Then making the let's see, it's the hold on, Spiracle. Yeah, that should be 320K. I labeled it wrong both places. I was consistent. And personal gear 8K, so you throw your personal gear in another spot. Now this actually has docking. A lot of them is docking underneath. Now the first ones I started off, I says docking on. I had seen them before. It was docking on the front, so you dock it to the back of the other CV. This follows my modular system, docking on all 6 sides. So we have a landing gear back there. This here in the middle of our cockpit, the stuff that is a landing gear forward, landing gear on each side, underneath. So even though visually this is going to land on this, when you land planet side, the actual docking will be done by the landing gear in the middle. So the sides and top, so you can dock it to the underside of something. So the idea is that this can be docked wherever I want that suits me. So yeah, this is the Spiracle by D.P. Burke. That would be myself. And I think it's one of the biggest ones of these. And if I remember correctly, it is like the rest of my module series, built for vanilla. But if I remember correctly, it does work in Reforged. I'd have to verify that, but I'm pretty sure it did. I think I had verified that. Um, well, I suppose I could go look it up. Let's see. Hold on. Easiest way might just to look use the link from the Twitch stream that I posted there. And did I say? I don't say on my workshop page whether it is or not. Oh, 32K harvest container. I was even on my workshop page. Well, I will correct that on my workshop page, and I will have to at some other point. Yeah, it's a really lackluster mining CV. It's one of the biggest ones in the challenge and the smallest cargo container. No, actually, it's got a 320 case harvest controller. I just mislabeled it. My mistake. My mistake. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call that here for the stream. As I said, I got other stuff I need to do today. Um, I just taking today off, but some work-related stuff I probably need to check out. Make sure that I'm good for this weekend to offer support if it's needed. Hopefully it's not, but if it is, I need to be sure I'm properly prepared for that. Well, enjoy, and let's see if I remember how to stop the stream.